Grammy Awards-winning singer Lisa Left Eye Lopes of the popular group TLC was killed in a car accident in Honduras.
Magnolia Shorty was riddled with bullets.
They shoot her 26 times, in fact.
You might want to grab a box of tissues before we dive into the tragic stories of some of rap's fiercest females. We're talking about the queens who paved the way, dropped fire rhymes, and then, well, let's just say their journeys weren't all champagne showers and sold-out tours.
28-year-old Renetta Lowe, better known to her fans as Magnolia Shorty, was gunned down yesterday.
The industry can be a cold place, especially for women. These talented artists face sexism, industry sharks, and personal struggles that would break even the strongest souls. So grab your tissues, honey, because we're about to spill the tea on the heartbreaking reasons these 7 rap queens' careers went silent.
Well, you know, when I go through my anger, being emotional, y'all done heard what I said about Shug.
We begin with the iconic Lisa Left Eye Lopes.
Dreams are hopeless aspirations and hopes are coming true.
Born Lisa Nicole Lopez on May 27, 1971, Lisa was 1/3 of the legendary TLC. And she was a firecracker.
And I said, people look at me like I'm crazy, Chili, sexy, and Tiana's cool.
The one who always kept T-Boz and Chili on their toes. The wild child.
I'm not a wild person, but if you're going to compare me to the other 2 group members, you know, I have probably had the wildest statements. I have done a wild thing when Andre and I got into the house situation and the house burnt down, you know, and I think people saw that as like outlandish, like, oh, she's, you know.
But behind the shades and the crazy outfits, there was a talented musician with a heart of gold.
Surely I've been seen and heard of many places. Then I traveled around the world, see many faces.
While T-Boz and Chili were belting out those high notes, guess who was secretly the mastermind behind the music? That's right, Lisa Left Eye Lopes. Word on the street is she had way more songwriting credits than the other girls combined. And get this, all that hard work racked up a whopping 4 Grammy Awards for our girl Lisa.
And the best R&B album is Fan Mail, TLC.
Not too shabby for the one in the shades, huh? But Left Eye wasn't all about girl power anthems, honey. We're talking about struggles that some of us wouldn't even believe. And let's not forget the rumors about some substance abuse issues in her past. Her love life? It was a roller coaster wilder than a Miami club on a Friday night. There was this NFL player, Andre Rison, and let me tell you, it was a hot mess.
Man, there were so many problems in our relationship. It was very jealous and very possessive.
Sparks flew. And word on the street is that things also got physical.
My mother and my father fought a lot, and, you know, I just react quickly to those kind of situations. So when Andre's grabbing on me and stuff, they turn into fights.
We're talking domestic violence rumors swirling around Andre, which is no bueno. Then there's the whole cheating situation. Whispers say Andre wasn't exactly a one-woman man.
One time when I got home, I went upstairs and the bed is all made and his car is in the driveway. I'm like, what's going on? Where is he at? I went upstairs and he was in the room, in the guest room, butt naked. And I just searched the room. I opened the closet door. There's a girl standing in a pink jacket with stockings on. And I was in total shock. I just couldn't believe it.
Then came the craziest part. Left Eye allegedly set his mansion on fire.
It's not frustrating at all for me to get the type of attention that I get when the house situation happened, when the media wrote certain things about me and I was labeled as being crazy. At the end of the day, I did notice that it actually did help sell records.
Talk about a fiery breakup, or maybe not. Think explosive fights, emotional breakdowns, and maybe even some legal drama. Theirs was a romance hotter than a habanero pepper, and it left its mark on Left Eye for sure.
And I woke up, and that's when I walked in the bathroom and looked in the damn mirror. And when I seen my face, I was like, I'm about to kill him. Carved, I love Dre. I was in need of some attention. I was a little hurt, a little angry. I was serving time in the diversion center. I don't know, he wasn't really coming to visit like I would have wanted him to. And I was frustrated.
Seeking solace and a fresh start, Lisa embarked on a transformative journey to Honduras. But a heartbreaking accident where her vehicle struck a child deeply affected Lisa. The child died, but word on the street is that Lisa took responsibility, covering medical care and funeral expenses. But this incident undoubtedly weighed heavily on her while in Honduras as she sought healing. Lisa was no stranger to Honduras. She frequented a holistic wellness center, Villa Usha, for herbal medicine and spiritual exploration. This trip reflected her desire for personal growth and inner peace. Tragically, her quest for healing was cut short by a tragic car accident that claimed her life.
The SUV Lisa was driving careened off the road, rolled several times, and then struck 2 trees before finally coming to rest in a ditch. Lisa and 3 other passengers were ejected from the vehicle, but miraculously, all 8 of her passengers survived with only minor injuries. And the doctor determined that Lopez died of a fracture at the base of the cranium and suffered open cerebral trauma.
Lisa Left Eye Lopes, a wild ride, right? From fiery lyrics to steaming relationships, she definitely wasn't afraid to shake things up. Whether you loved her or loved to hate her, Left Eye was unforgettable. But one thing's for sure, Lisa Left Eye Lopes will always be a legend in the music industry.
28-year-old Renetta Lowe, better known to her fans as Magnolia Shorty, was gunned down yesterday.
Sadly, another talented artist, a rising star in the New Orleans rap scene, Magnolia Shorty, had her life cut short under much more tragic circumstances.
On December 20th, 2010, Magnolia Shorty was returning to her apartment when she was shot and killed in a double homicide.
Magnolia Shorty, the queen of bounce who wasn't even old enough to drive. Born Renetta Yamika Lowe Bridgewater in 1982, this firecracker grew up in the rough-and-tumble Magnolia projects. Guess all that street cred rubbed off on her, because Shorty started spitting rhymes younger than most people can even tie their shoes. Word on the street is local legend Soulja Slim took her under his wing. And let's just say, talent recognizes talent. By the time Shorty was 12, Cash Money Records, Birdman, and Slim themselves couldn't ignore her skills any longer. And she became the second female rapper signed to Cash Money Records. Yep, the same Cash Money that launched Lil Wayne's career. That's right, breaking barriers before she could even break a curfew.
She knew she was a star at a young age. She was destined for starting just by her personality, and her confidence.
And then came the song that put her on the map, the bounce classic, Monkey on the Stick.
Remember Shawty made a monkey on his dick? But now I'm about to make his soul catch a fit.
This track went right ahead to solidify Magnolia Shorty's place in music history.
Instantly, when we heard the record, I was like, you know what? This is gonna be a hit.
Literally 5 days later, the whole city knew that song and it was on.
It was huge. It was played on the radio every day, at every party, in every club.
All before she even graduated from middle school. At 28, Magnolia Shorty was already a total boss in the bounce scene. Like, seriously.
She really was the hottest female.
She was killing it. The tragic story of Magnolia Shorty takes a dark turn on December 20th, 2010. The vibrant young rapper's life was cut short in a brutal murder. She, along with Jerome Man Hampton, who she was trying to help jump on the music scene, was shot while parked in a car.
Was riddled with bullets, and her colleague, her associate, Jerome Hampton, was also riddled with bullets.
They shoot her 26 times, in fact.
The senseless act resulted in their deaths. Shorty's family, as well as her fans, were completely shattered.
And I just collapsed. I cried, and I didn't want to get up when they tried to get me up, because as long as I was on the ground, it felt like it was all a dream.
I couldn't believe it, bro. Especially saying how she got hit up all those times. I just couldn't, she didn't deserve that, bro. You know what I'm saying? Man, I think I ain't eat probably about 3 days from having so much on me in prison, bro. It was a lot, and I had to, shake out of it. You know what I'm saying? Because all I was seeing, it was a bad time when I was in prison, bro. You know what I'm saying? To go through that. Because that was like a little sister to me. You know what I'm saying? And every time I talk about my career or whatever, I have to give her the props that she deserved, because these days people do not put you in a position, do not bring your name up. They do not, because they be inferior. She was a top bounce artist in New Orleans, and she brought my name up. So I appreciate her for that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, it affected me in the worst way.
People still wonder what really went down with Magnolia Shorty. Some folks think she was just in the wrong spot at the wrong time, chilling with the wrong dude. But 26 shots? That's a lot of bullets, you know? Seems a little too on purpose to be a random thing. Recently, Gregory Rabbit Stewart, a gang member, confessed to participating in the shooting, which involved over 50 bullets fired into her vehicle. So it's pretty clear it was a gang-related drama, and the dude she was with, Man, was the main target. Shorty was warned about hanging out with him. But Magnolia Shorty was set on helping a newbie find his place, and that cost her life.
I just think, you know, being in the wrong place at the wrong time, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, and sometimes that type of situation happens. You know, that's why, you know, you have to watch the company that you keep, you know, because like when the people come, they're not going to say, hold up, you know, they're not going to do that. So you got to watch who you hanging with these days, man, and make sure that their background is solid before you consider them as, you know, a friend, a business partner, or whoever, you feel me?
Magnolia Shorty's life may have been brief, but her impact...
But she was the queen of bounce. Yeah. Still a queen of bounce because people still sampling her music, you know. Magnolia Shorty, man, like she just was different, man. She was different, bro. And, you know, she was a light, man. Anytime she go to any party, she pick that mic up, she gonna hold it down for that Noya, man.
Undeniable. Her death was a huge loss to the New Orleans music scene and a reminder of the preciousness of young talent.
She had a good spirit and a good soul, and she just loved what she do too.
It wasn't all sunshine and rainbows, but she inspired a generation of young rappers and showed the world the power of music. I just want to make him. Another of the girls who fought personal battles but showed up every single day was MC Trouble.
Let's go have some fun. We'll stop at Maxine's to get our hair done.
Born Latasha Sharon Rogers on July 30th, 1970 in Los Angeles, California, MC Trouble made waves, and let me tell you, she was about to blow up.
Okay, I'll bite. Why Trouble?
Because I'm bad.
Oh!
She was the first chick to get signed to Motown. In a gang full of dudes, she was like, hold my beer. MC Trouble dropped her first album, Gotta Get a Grip, in 1990, and she had this one track, I Wanna Make You Mine, that was straight fire. I just want to make you mine. Like, she was smooth, you know? She was really making waves in the rap game, and it looked like she was gonna be huge. But it's wild how life can change in a blink. Turns out MC Trouble was born with epilepsy, and she had to take a shot daily to prevent seizures. MC Trouble was working on her second album, and then boom, she's gone. On June 4th, 1991, she had a seizure in her sleep. Her heart couldn't handle it, and that was it. Can you believe it? It was a total shock to everyone, especially the hip-hop scene. Boyz II Men dedicated that It's So Hard to Say Goodbye to Yesterday video to MC Trouble.
If we get to see tomorrow.
Her fans especially cannot get over how big she could have been. She was way ahead of her time, being the first female rapper on Motown, and it was wild how she broke into that boys club. Her death at the very young age of 20 was a huge loss for the whole music scene, not just hip-hop and R&B. People were really feeling her vibe, and then suddenly, she was gone. But MC Trouble was like a trailblazer for female rappers. Homegirl showed everyone that girls could hold their own in the rap game.
The only way to achieve peace is to rid ourselves of ignorance and belief.
And even though she didn't have a long career, she made a huge impact.
Miss Melodie, the God sent, the God bless, yes, Lord.
Another heartbreaking exit is Miss Melodie.
Sad news for hip-hop today. Rap pioneer Miss Melodie has passed away at the age of 43.
Born Ramona Parker on March 21st, 1969 in Brooklyn, New York, Miss Melodie emerged as a formidable force in hip-hop during the late 1980s.
And how did you get the name Miss Melodie?
Basically, it came from when I was younger, and I used to rhyme, and I used to rock at parties and stuff, and I used to rhyme, and everyone thought that I was singing because my voice was soft and it was like more mellow. It was like I would rhyme and I would go, yes, I'm Melodie. And I was like, the way I would rhyme, everyone thought that I was singing. So they would go, "Who was that singing?" That was fresh. That was fresh. I was like, well, that was me. I was rhyming. It just came from Melodie singing. The Miss came from a rhyme that I wrote, and I describe myself as being Miss Melodie.
Let me tell you, she was no joke. This chick was all about that hip-hop life, and she was doing it way before it was cool.
The enemy knows they're no fools because everyone knows the hip-hop rules.
She hooked up with this dude, KRS-One, who became her husband for about 5 years, and they formed this group called Boogie Down Productions. Can you believe it? A girl in a hip-hop crew back then. That's major.
The direction that I'm taking rapping, or my direction, is that I want to be a versatile type of rapper, meaning that I want to be different. I want to set a trend as though the average female rapper wouldn't have to wear the b-boy clothing. You can be hard and still remain a female. In other words, you can get your point across and be direct and aggressive and authoritative without acting like a man.
She dropped some fire bars on this track called Self-Destruction, talking all that real talk about violence in the hood. Vibe magazine said this chick could spit fire with the best of them. Even with all those dudes in the rap game, she was like, I ain't scared of y'all.
You have to be hard. That's my style. It's hard but subtle. I'm aggressive and authoritative on stage.
Then she dropped her own album, Diva. And let me tell you, she was serving looks and spitting hot rhymes. The girl had game, and the biggest flex for Miss Melodie fans? She brought this game without any form of indecent exposure.
Miss Melodie is known for being Miss Melodie, being the woman that raps with style.
Miss Melodie passed away, possibly in her sleep, in 2012 when she was only 43. They said it was complications due to an undisclosed illness, but nobody really knows for sure. Whatever the case, she was like a total boss in hip-hop back in the day. Her style was raw, and her songs were fire. Ms. Melodie was totally breaking the mold. She didn't care about the rules, she just did her thing. Her music still has people talking, and we can all agree that she was the ultimate diva, no doubt about it. Another diva who could totally hold her own in a room full of men, Hurricane G.
Spittin' is my OCD, my PCP, my STD, my codeine.
Born Gloria Rodriguez in 1970, this Puerto Rican firecracker wasn't just any rapper. She was a total game changer. Joining the hit squad, a crew full of heavy hitters, was a big deal, especially for women in that era. She didn't just spit rhymes, she owned the mic. And let's talk about that bilingual flow, switching between English and Spanish. That was next level, because she wasn't just making music, honey. She was making history. This was way before Cardi B popped up. I mean, the girl had this flair about her, you know? She was serving looks, dropping beats, and owning the game all at once. Trust me, her finesse was off the charts. Hurricane G passed away in 2023 at just 52. Her daughter shared the heartbreaking news that she was battling stage 4 lung cancer back in May 2022. And sadly, she lost her fight in November. But ask around, Hurricane G was a total trailblazer for Puerto Rican women in hip-hop, working with some huge names in the 90s. Her album, All Woman, was a major deal, especially the track Somebody Else.
And if you don't stop, you gon' get dropped.
It's a real loss for the music world as Hurricane G was more than a rapper. She was a symbol of female empowerment in hip-hop.
Rewrite it, go get excited, recite it, I'll be delighted, don't fight it, it's on your chest.
While we're on the topic of female empowerment, Princess Loko has got to be one female MC who talked that talk.
You said don't cry about it, mama, just go talk to God.
Born Andrea Summers in Memphis, Tennessee on August 2nd, 1979, Princess Loko was totally ahead of her time. This girl could spit rhymes faster than you can say hot diggity dog.
I left the situation kind of critical. My face smiling, only yours looking pitiful. I'm gone.
And let's talk about her lyrics. She was talking about all the drama with the cops and gender stuff in her music way before it was cool. She teamed up with 10 Wanted Men alongside Tommy Wright III and made waves in Memphis. this. Princess Loko didn't play games with her music. It was super raw and real. Like, she spilled her guts out on those tracks. And guess what? People loved it. She was the OG of being yourself in hip-hop. Honestly, she's the reason we have all these dope female rappers from Memphis now. She was the Queen Bee, paving the way for everyone else. And speaking of Queen Bee, Princess Loko's basically blowing up again because Beyonce used one of her old songs on her Renaissance album. Total legend. Sadly, Princess Loko passed away in May 2020 at the age of 40 due to complications from congestive heart failure.
And yeah, the news true, y'all. Princess Loko passed away today at about 9 a.m.
Tommy Wright III spills a little more tea on it.
She was also fighting another struggle, you know. She was fighting that battle with alcohol. And when you got congestive heart failure, that's something that's kind of hard to balance.
But seriously, Princess Loko was one of those people who paved the way for everyone else. While she may not have achieved mainstream fame, her legacy in the Memphis rap scene is undeniable. Her influence can still be felt today, as new artists continue to draw inspiration from her groundbreaking work. A total queen.